Okay, today we're going to outline the key differences between converting a single-family home to 2 units versus converting it to a multiplex. With sweeping policy changes across the province, there's a great deal of opportunity to benefit from this trend of multiplex conversions. But at the same time, you need to know some of the critical details to ensure that you're not stuck with a property that doesn't work for you. So let's dive into the details. Welcome back. Thanks for watching. I'm Andy from Sweet Additions, where we help investors and homeowners create more housing and generate wealth. We would really appreciate if you can hit the like button and please subscribe to this channel. Additionally, we're putting together a comprehensive in-person training program covering in detail the principles, strategies, and tactics as part of the Max Suite strategy. We'll share more info at the end of this video, and you can also check it out at sweetadditions.com/training. Okay, so we're standing here at our clients from the Gateway Group who converted this single-family century home into 3 separate legal units. In other words, a legal triplex. Now, with Bill 23, the province of Ontario has mandated that every municipality must put policies in place to allow every single-family lot to have a minimum of 3 individual units. Not every city or town has implemented these policies yet, but those that have mandate in various configurations and how they want these individual units to be positioned. Some will allow the primary dwelling to be converted to 2 units, plus allow a detached garden suite for 3 units in total, and some will allow all 3 units to be converted from the primary dwelling. The purpose of this video is to outline some important details of the latter. Some municipalities, including Toronto and Hamilton, have taken things a step further by allowing up to 4 units as of right on the primary dwelling in many areas. Of course, many properties simply won't work because of size and building code constraints. So the purpose of this video is to help you determine if a multiplex can be converted on your property. The way we'll break this down is by comparing the key differences between a 2-unit home, most commonly with a basement suite, versus a multiplex home, which is 3 units and above. Many people have been accustomed to identifying homes that can easily have a second suite added to them and assume the same rules apply. This is not true, and you can be surprised when you go apply for a building permit. We learned a lot about this during our permitting process for various projects. So before we get into it, note that this is not a complete list, but rather some high-level items to be aware of. And the assumption we're making is that the house is older than 5 years. For newer homes that are under 5 years, there are more stringent requirements. And our focus is for Ontario, but a lot of these rules apply to the rest of Canada as well. Now, you always need to consult with a design professional and the municipality to get more detailed information about your specific property. So without further ado, let's dive into it. So the first thing to know is that according to the Ontario Building Code, 2 units and under is officially defined as a house, and a property that is 3 units and above is defined as a small building. So what are the key differences? The first and foremost important key difference are height requirements in the basement. Assuming the home is greater than 5 years, a house requires a minimum height of 6 feet 5 inches, while a small building requires a minimum height of 6 feet 11 inches. This is important because many basements don't have this height, and increasing the height can be very expensive. This is especially important if you already have a legal 2-unit home and now you want to add a 3rd unit on the existing structure, such as an attached garage or a second story. The second critical difference is entrances and egress, which means how people will evacuate the building in an emergency. The house will provide a lot of flexibility in terms of egress requirements, allowing for shared exits and even allowing for traveling through another unit to get outside. Small buildings, however, will work better with dedicated entrances, and if shared entrances are used, they will require a second and separate means of egress. It's also important to consider from the outside how you will construct the walkways leading up to the various entrances. The third key difference is fire rating between units. A house in many cases will have reduced fire separation requirements, allowing as low as a 15-minute separation between units. The building code measures fire ratings based on the time that it takes for fire to spread from one unit to another. In a small building, the requirements are typically a minimum fire rating of 30 minutes. So often this may mean additional fire-rated drywall and better fire-rated doors. The fourth item is separation of mechanical rooms. For houses containing 2 units, the mechanical room with basic heating appliances does not need to be fire separated from either unit, but we still have to maintain separation between the units. So that means we usually fire separate the walls of the mechanical room. For small buildings that have more than 2 stories and are greater than 400 square meters, there needs to be a fire separation of at least 1 hour from the rest of the building. The fifth item is a bit more complicated, and this has to do with fire alarms and evacuation systems. For 2-unit houses, standard interconnected smoke and carbon monoxide alarms are sufficient. In a small building, there's a potential need for a proper fire alarm system depending on the number of occupants in the building, which is determined by the total number of bedrooms. Additionally, there would be a need for exit signs, proper lighting, and other fire safety items in place. This part can get a bit complicated, so make sure to hire the right designer or architect to assist you with this. And finally, this is not related to the code, but it's just as important, which is parking. This is determined by that particular city or town's local parking regulations. Some cities will require each unit to have its own parking space, while others may forego any additional parking required. Knowing this will determine whether your property or the property you're looking to purchase will have the adequate space to accommodate the necessary parking. There are a number of other items to be aware of, so once again, talk to your municipality and hire the right designer or architect for your project. Okay, so that's all that we have for you today. What are your thoughts? Do you currently own a property or looking to purchase a property with the potential to convert to a multiplex? Please share them in the comments below. Additionally, as a service, we provide detailed on-site or online consultations that look at your entire property and determine the highest and best use based on the Max Suite strategy. If you're interested, get in contact with us at suiteadditions.com/contact. And again, we're putting together an in-person comprehensive training program on implementing the Max Suite strategy, which is going to be incredibly relevant to multiplexes in Toronto. The training will be packed full of practical, detailed information and case studies, diving deeper into some of the things that we've covered here. If you're interested, please go to suiteadditions.com/training to apply, and we'll give you more details about the training. In the meantime, we hope to see you create more housing and generate lasting wealth. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.
To learn more about the Max Suite strategy, download our free guides at suiteadditions.com and get started. And if you enjoyed this video, here's another great one for you.